I would handle that situation.
Okay.
That's how I tell him.
Okay.
With helping the young man get in school, I actually went over to the school and got the paperwork and turned paperwork in for him, because I did some of the lead work for him.
Okay.
Yeah.
Huh. Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay. So again, those needs are being met, even if that means you taking initiative.
Me taking an initiative, trying to help him, going beyond the call of duty.
Okay. Even if it means going above and beyond.
Going above and beyond. Yeah.
Okay. Interesting. Interesting. And lastly, conventional, do you feel that that need is being met?
It is, because I have rules that are given to me, core values. I do have guidelines that's given to me that I do have to follow. For example, when I'm given a time to be at work, I do have a guideline that I do need to be there at that job at that particular time. I do have guidelines that when they set me a time, goal time, okay, you need to have this done by 8:30 or 10 o'clock.
Mm.
I need to have that project done by that time.
Okay.
I do have guidelines as to follow leadership when they say you need to put on a name tag. Those are rules that they're given, that's being given down from a strong leader.
Okay.
And so I have to follow that. Even though I may not supposed to agree with some things they do, I do have to follow them.
Okay.
You know, I do, when they said lunchtime, I do have to take the lunch prior to, before the 6 hour, which I, may not want to, but that's a rule that needs to be followed.
Okay.
Simple things like that. Also, going, persuading people back in enterprise, and I'm persuading people to open up a credit card. And me personally, I'm not big on credit cards, but my job is to get red cards.
Huh.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting. So even though personally you're not a big fan of credit cards or starting or opening a credit card account, because it's your job, or if it's what your job requires, a part of your job description, you will still persuade customers.
I would ask them about it.
Or inquire, or see if they may be interested.
Mm-hmm. And just tell them the benefits of it.
And
Knowing myself, I don't take advantage of the benefit because I don't have one.
So if those are your job, if those are Target's requirements with respect to rules and guidelines, even though you might not personally be in favor of those rules or guidelines, but because it's your job and the environment that you're in, you still would apply to abide by their rules.
Yeah, because I'm under their authority.
Okay.
So you should respect those who have authority over you. It's nowhere written that I have to get one.
Right.
I'm not required to get one, but I am required to suggest it to the guests.
Gotcha.
Yeah. Now I am required to do that.
Right. You're required to at least suggest it.
Yeah, suggest it.
Gotcha.
Like if I'm on the register, I'm told that I should ask every guest, when I see them that they're not using a red card, I should ask them, have you heard about our red card program? And I'm supposed to go into detail.
Right.
And tell them about it.
Right. As you mentioned, suggesting, even though personally you may not be interested in that service yourself.
Right. I don't have one.
Gotcha.
Not saying I'm against them, but I keep saying that one day I'm gonna get the red card debit. The red card, but I'll get the debit card, but not the credit card. Where the debit card is just like you using your regular debit, your debit card. You using this card is strictly for Target use. But the benefits in that though is when you use that Target red card, the Target red debit card, you save 5% off your total. Versus you just using your regular bank debit card.
Okay.
So it has its benefits, and that's what I'm supposed to let the guests know, that hey, I know you have a debit card, a regular, say, your personal bank debit card, but if you apply and get Target debit card and it's hooked to your checking account, then when you shop here, you'll save 5% off your total. Versus if you use your personal regular bank debit card, you'll pay full price.
All right, pay full price.
Yeah.
So again, as part of your job description, you are required, whether or not it conflicts with your interest, to at least inform customers of potential savings.
For savings, yeah. Also let them know about the app program, how you can download Target app. And we have it's a card wheel where you can go around when you're shopping, you can go around and you can scan the item, and if it's on the card wheel, then you can save additional. And I don't have the type of phone that you can download the app.
Again, so that's another service that even though you don't have a person, you still suggest it.
I suggest it.
Even though you don't benefit from it as an employee.
Yeah, I don't benefit from it. Not with a card wheel, I benefit. Sometimes I benefit from because I have coworkers who will let me use their phone to get the card wheel.
Gotcha.
Yeah, but sometimes I don't think about it, and I just go ahead and make my purchase, and they can care less. I just get my employee discount.
If you weren't able to use another employee's card,
Not their card,
I'm sorry, not the card.
their phone.
Right. If there was a way to possibly track another individual's use of a phone app that wasn't theirs, you would still abide by Target's rules.
That's what.
If that was a rule of Target, not suggesting it, but if you weren't allowed to use another person's phone to access the savings that you mentioned
For myself?
or do the app for yourself.
Oh, would I still suggest it to the guest?
No, I'm sorry. You wouldn't still suggest it to the guest, but would you still abide by Target's rule if they said that wasn't okay to use somebody else's?
Oh yeah, I wouldn't have a problem with that.
Okay.
Because I don't do it all the time. Use somebody's phone.
Okay.
I don't do it all the time, but it's okay to use it.
Gotcha.
Because we have sometimes our team members, and our manager said it's okay. Sometimes they will let a guest use their phone to get the discount just to help the guest.
Interesting. Okay.
Because we're trying to satisfy our guests, and the guests think that they like that because it just really make them want to come back to the store.
Right. It really makes the guest feel as though the employee has their best interest at heart.
That's right. Especially when you have older guests who's not technology savvy and they don't know anything about that. And our job is to tell them, like when they're shopping, oh yeah, you get this merchandise, and say, hey, do you have an iPhone, or do you have a phone where you can download it? Like, no, I don't have that type of phone. And they're like, sure, well you can use mine. Or when you get to the register, I'll just tell ask the cashier, and the cashier, if they have their phone, they would let you use their phone so you can save.
Okay. Interesting. Well, it sounds like you are a big fan of a proponent, if you will, advocate for abiding by rules as they apply to your job, and you also shared why there was little to no interest shown in the other areas. Right.
And I also encourage my team members to obey the rules, because I had an incident one time where team members was telling the manager how they called in and didn't nobody answer the phone, and the manager said that's not true. Someone did answer the phone, because I answered the phone and he put my name in and said that Richard called too, and I answered the phone. So if I answer the phone for him, I answer the phone for you. So I would answer the phone for you. You just did not call. And I was like, I can't believe he put my name in this situation. And I told the coworker, I said, why did you? He did answer the phone. Someone was answering the phone. I said, you just didn't call in. I said, you can't be doing that. I said, you need to handle your business. You need to call in. You need to follow the rules. Same thing when I tell coworkers, even though you may be looking for another job, and when you do get the other job, you still should do right by Target and give Target a 2 weeks notice. You just don't jump up and leave your job, because Target was nice to give you a job. You ought to be nice to, out of respect, at least get them a week notice, or if not, give them a 2 weeks notice. If not, at least get them a 1 week notice to let them know. And also, I encourage them that you need to obey the rules, as when you're scheduled to come in, just to call out is not a good thing to to do to make a habit of it. I can see if it's a extreme mercy, but just to call out, that's not always a good thing to do.
That's ethically, that's not okay with you.
I mean, just to, when I say it's not ethical, it's to the point to me, it's not just to do it just to do it, you know, or not to, just not showing up. That's, to me, is definite injustice. Well, I'm not gonna say injustice, it's not common courteous. Now, I myself have called out, but I will not just not show up.
Okay.
At least call out, but don't just not show up.
Okay.
You know, that's not, or don't just quit without giving them a notice. That's not good.
Communication is important to you.
The communication is important. It is important because it's a lot of people don't understand. I don't care if you're working at being a news person, being a news selling newspapers. Communication is important because you never know that you may have to come back to that job.
Interesting.
You may have to come back. I have had to go back to a job, and because I left in a good way, I ain't have no problem going back.
You've actually experienced where that's made a difference.
Yes, and I left for. I remember left the first job I ever had. I was there for 3 years, and I was getting ready to before I made 3 years, I was actually getting ready to quit, but I put them a 2 weeks notice in, and I did not leave at the time because the day that I was supposed to leave, they was shorthanded, and I told them, I said, well, you know what, I will stay on a little while longer to help so y'all won't be shorthanded. So I stayed approximately about 5 or 6 months past the time that I told them I was on, that I was so initial leaving. But then when I got another job, I told the manager, and she told me, she said, you know what, you don't have to put in another 2 weeks notice. She said, well, you gave us 2 weeks notice months ago. So she said, so if you want this to be your last week, she said, that's fine. She said, because we can't say you didn't give us 2 weeks notice.
Mm-hmm.
And so I left. I say about 5 years later, I called, told them I was looking for some part-time. I was able to come back. No problem.
And you strongly feel it's because of the manner in which you left the job.
Because one of the ladies, when I got back, she was working there. She was there when I initially left 5 years ago. You know, me and her got hired around the same time.
Okay.
But she left before I left. But then she went back before I went back. And she didn't even know I was coming back. And she even said, you about the only person that I know that this particular manager let come back without giving him a hard time. And she didn't have a problem with that.
It can make a difference.
It does make a difference, especially with Target, because with Target, if you leave and you don't leave the right way, you are not considered eligible for rehire nationwide. I got a young man a job back home at the store, and he left this up to stop showing up, and he wound up losing the job. He moved to Florida. And when he went to Florida, he called me one day and he said he was trying to get on at Target in Florida. He said, but they said that I was uneligible. I was not eligible for rehire. So he wanted to know how long is that going to be in the system. I said, man, that's going to be in the system until. He said, oh, it's not a time frame. I said, no, it's until. It's going to be in there forever because you left the wrong way. If you would have left with 2 weeks notice, then you could have came back. So that's why I always tell people, you never know what the future holds. So you should always leave in a good way.
Okay.
Regardless of, I know some jobs be telling you that you need to start right away, but you need to also let that job understand, okay, I want the job, but I have a job, and I need to do right by them. Okay. Now, if that new job can't understand that, then I don't know if that's where you need to, I ain't gonna say that's not where it may not need to be where you need to go, but I think personally you need to try to work it out. Because my thing is, I just don't believe in leaving a job a wrong way. I have heard a situation where it happens, but